3. Welcome to Power Up's Ask a Fitness or Health Expert podcast, where we have a variety of guests that volunteer to share their love of health, fitness, maybe some product services, but all things that are good for us. A quick disclosure, this podcast contains our own personal tips, advice, suggestions, and opinions. Our honorary guest every week, Jake Weeks. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. You?
I'm doing great. I love our topic today. I think it's something that I could talk about for weeks, but let's talk about habits today. What do you want to start with? Good habits, bad habits?
Well, I guess just habits. Your life is, and you are, what you habitually do, in my opinion, and it takes a long time to build a habit that you can really rely on. One problem for me in the past is I've always tried to plan this go for broke, get in the best shape of my life in the next 3 months thing, and inevitably I just let it go because I don't have the discipline or the habits in place to keep it going. When I've had the most success, it's when I just start small, baby steps, and just develop one habit that I like. And then once that's developed, move on to another one. And it might just be I've been trying to get some family members into working out for a long time, and they just refuse. And I'm trying to even just get them to do 1 minute, just commit to 1 minute or one exercise. Start there, do 10 squats a day, or do a wall sit for 30 seconds, or stretch your back out right before you go to bed. Something, just add in something that's good for your body and start there. And over time, you'll have all the habits that you want, and you'll have the life you want, and you'll be creative about thinking for more goals for yourself, and you'll be surprised by the goals you're able to achieve and that you set for yourself with realistic expectation of meeting them, because you can see that by enacting this slow, steady, sustainable process and building habits in that way, that you can really achieve almost anything you want, in my opinion. Go ahead. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I love that you have the same concept that I do, the same theory. I believe it works great. You're right. We're filming this right before the first of the year, and what I notice about people that, that December, everybody just falls off. They're not even doing anything really relating to fitness or health. They're just just wait, put everything on hold, or start January 1st. And you're right, a lot of people start off with militant exercises, going every day, I'm going to make up for it. Because guess what? Most people gain 8 to 10 pounds between Halloween and New Year. So, pants are fitting tighter, everything's just feeling a little more pudgy and not feeling so great. But they take the approach of painful, miserable, terrible. And reality is I would say for the first 4 weeks to just do something small. Something I would encourage everybody to do as well is right now, hopefully if you're watching this before the first of the year, is to order or purchase a wall calendar for the entire year. Something, it doesn't have to be huge. I actually will put a link to one in my Amazon interest list. I just ordered mine for next year, but what it is it's a wall calendar where you can just put either a big X every day that you do that small tiny habit, or maybe just put an E with a circle and try to make it to where you do that small tiny habit every single day without skipping 2 days. So you're looking for strings and patterns where you're not breaking that process. You're creating a habit every single day for next year. And like you said, something small, just 1 minute, 2 minutes maximum for at least the first 4 weeks, and then build on that. Once you get that 2 minutes down, mastered, make it 3 minutes for 4 weeks. Really start small. I think everybody just does it in the opposite, really goes extreme and painful. And yeah, if you haven't been working out at all for a while or ever, it's going to be horrible and painful, and you might even get injured. So, really just come at it really, really tiny, real insignificant. It seems silly, but, even just going to the gym. I read about that recently of someone that just for 6 weeks would just go to the gym, maybe talk to somebody for a minute and then leave. Not even work out for 6 weeks. And the thought behind that is just creating that habit of getting the shoes, getting the gym bag, getting in the car, going to the gym, getting, you know, finding a good parking spot, getting acquainted with the traffic or on the way there, and just understanding, you know, how you're going to navigate this and fit this in your world, and being in that environment of people that are healthy or trying to work on their health and fitness. But something small, start with that, just going to the gym. It might, a lot of people might go, oh, that sounds like a waste of money of your gym membership, but no, that's creating something really small, finding your path, figuring out when to put that in your day. You know, some people that I work with are like, oh, I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. and work out in the morning. And then after a week, they realize that's not working. So they shift it to maybe their lunch hour, and then they shift it to maybe their evening hour. So sometimes that first 4 to 6 weeks is just figuring out what works for you, when to do it. But you're right, something small, something really tiny. And I looked up what I believe a habit is something that you, it's subconscious. So it's a small subconscious thing. You know, like some people are like, oh, I need to make a habit of reading every day. Really, that's not really subconscious, because you actually do have to consciously read, at least I hope you are. But a habit would be something really small that starts the pattern of what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, it just becomes sort of part of your life. It's not like this stressful event, you know, and some habits you want to do daily, like floss, you know, but maybe go to the gym, you start by going twice a week and you have set days, or 3 times a week. Or for a lot of habits, maybe you do them 5 times a week. The most important thing is have a schedule, be consistent. Once you figure out the best time for you, stick to that time. And I really feel like, especially if you're first getting started, pick things that you're going to like at first. Like, I just got back into lifting weights seriously about a year ago, and that was after several years I was just rock climbing and doing other things. But I don't like going to the gym as much because I like to be outside and do my exercise. So what I would do is I would go shoot hoops, because I knew I liked that. You know, I went and did that for several weeks really before I started concentratedly lifting and doing things that I wasn't as excited about. And that made it a lot easier. And then I had the lifting part habituated, and then I started to add swimming, you know, and it just, you can just add on. But to be sustainable, not only does it have to be like a time frame that you want it to be, like a small time frame, it's got to be something you look forward to and it's enjoyable. Like, you don't want it to be stressing you out before you do it, you know, and you're laying there the night before thinking about how bad it's going to suck the next day. So pick things you like. There's so many ways to get fit in this world, so many foods you can eat, so many exercises you can do. There's got to be something you like. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's just stretching, maybe it's shooting hoops. It doesn't have to be like squats and power cleans and mountain climbers right away. Okay, so that's my best and most important advice, I think, is pick things you like early on, build the habits, and then let it snowball. It'll just get bigger and bigger, and then you'll just feel more and more motivated to add more stuff, because you see how successful you're being and how your life is changing just by adding little habits.
So not my whole entire life, I haven't been active. If I reel back to high school, I did try track, but I got shin splints so bad that I couldn't maintain it. But I just wanted to be with those people. I felt a lot of it were my friends were there, and they were extremely athletic, and I just wanted to so bad be like them. I had the heart, but didn't have the right shoes, number one, and the right foot placement. I needed I needed a coach, but I didn't know better. I just ran with my heart and ended up having to drop out because the shin splints just disabled me. But and then moving forward after that, I actually was a dog musher, a competitive dog musher, sprint dog mushing, for a few years, and won a lot of trophies, won a lot of awards, enjoyed it. That's an extremely athletic sport, and very hard. But aside from that, I didn't really do anything until I started my journey 10 years ago. And what I started with, I had a personal trainer and I saw her twice a week. But aside from that, I signed up for classes because I was terrified of the weight room. But the personal trainer was slowly getting me comfortable in the weight room. She didn't know it at the time, or maybe she did, I don't know, but she was kind of getting me, comfortable being there. But it did actually for a while develop this whole thing of I got to have somebody with me, because she was always with me. But finally, I broke free from that. But classes were where I started, and I enjoyed it. I did like these Zumba classes and yoga classes. I did these weightlifting classes. I loved it. And it taught me the language too, you know, what these moves were, and taught me perfect or good form. You know, it's hard in a class setting to get everybody to have perfect form, in my opinion, but looking back on it, in yoga, yeah, I tried all sorts of things and really enjoyed that process, as well as figuring out what I liked. We went swimming too for actually about a year, prior to that journey, now that I think about it. I always just swim too. When I was a kid, I was in swimming. I went through swimming lessons and loved it. I was a fish. In fact, in high school, we had a swimming pool in the high school I went to, and every year I took swimming for the, you know, the exercise portion, the physical ed. But, you know, I think it is really, really important to find something that you love and enjoy, and know that that can shift and change. And, you know, go to the gym, you know, the local gym, if that's your desire, and maybe go on the racquetball court and just hit that ball, just you and that ball and that court. I've done that before, and that's really great if you have a lot of stress or things that you're just trying to sort through in your mind. You know, stress relief is incredible and important as well. But just you, yourself, and that ball on that court is incredible. But, you know, go swimming, you know, the options are endless. I think you're right. I think a lot of people think, oh, I got to go lift weights. No, you don't have to. It's just getting out there and moving, you know. And if you really think about back to the caveman days, you know, we used to have to walk long distances, climb, and I don't know, we used to have to go probably very, very far to get our food, our foraging for our food. And anymore, we have Uber Eats. Food just comes to our door, you know, so we don't work out for our food anymore. Life is completely different, but our bodies' mechanics have not changed. So, you know, we're ordering on Uber Eats these pizzas and all these rich foods that are, you know, coming right to our door, where we don't even have to do anything but walk from our couch to our front door. You know, that's an issue.
We got bad habits, and I think most people watching this can think of at least a couple they have. And I think our jobs over time is to minimize the amount of bad habits and increase the amount of good habits. Some of the ones that I've been prouder to eliminate are like drinking and smoking for myself. Actually, those are big habits to eliminate. Something I'm really proud of that I do is, like, for me, it's a goal and a habit to do some exercise every day. And that could take the form of just taking a walk or getting really intense and doing something. Another habit that I like to personally do is I like to get outside every day too, even if it's cold and wet, because studies have linked both of those things to happiness. And I know that I just enjoy them. So those are habits that I like to do every day. What do you got? Some that you don't do anymore, that you do now, that you feel like are transformative?
So a bad habit would have been lack of eating. Like, I kind of like starved myself all the time. In fact, I wouldn't eat breakfast. I wouldn't eat it at all until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And also another bad habit I used to have was just really making extremely rich dinners, you know, 1, 2, 3 sticks of butter. I used to buy so much butter and use so much butter. So another bad habit that I don't do anymore. But I do still like to make lovely meals at night, but I've learned to pretty much just have 2 food groups, you know, keep it more simple, but lots of flavor, lots of herbs, lots of spices. What would be another habit, bad habit? Multitasking is another one that I think is something that I'm always continually working on and improving. I find myself being distracted by shiny objects and notifications or all these different things. And it doesn't allow me to really focus on or hone in my skills or whatever I'm trying to do in that time block. So time blocking is really something I've done really well this last year, and going to perfect even greater this next coming year. There's actually a cool program that you can download on your computer that blocks websites from you to actually go into for certain hours a day or certain days. Maybe like you could set it where it blocks you from social media from Monday to Friday, or, you know, certain bands of time. Or, you know, another idea that I thought was really funny and great, but it has to be somebody that you trust. Maybe you give all your social media account login and password to someone you trust. They change your password on Monday and they give you the password Friday night. So if you're that bad where you can't stay off of social media, there's some tips for you. But yeah, multitasking is something that I'm, you know, one of those things that I gotta, you know, really figure out. And so what I've learned with that is just time blocking, you know, setting up my day where I check my email here and I do this next task and this next task, and but just having that same rhythm and same flow. Now things usually pop up, like I have to talk to a client or whatever, and that could totally throw a wrench in things. Or I did a huge presentation yesterday, so that was during a block of time that I normally would be working on certain things. But you know, creating habits and routines and being consistent, like every single day, because 1% better every day ends up being 37 and some change better after, or 37 times improvement after a full year. And then after the second year is 1,400 times better.
You know, that's well said, because that's like a lot of sports teams are starting to use that. It's kind of like their day-to-day motto is just get 1% better. And that's really what you should do. Don't think about getting 100 or 200% better before summertime, before bikini season, before the wedding. Just start putting one foot in front of the other and make it a sustainable lifestyle. Like that's really what I can't stress enough. Make it you're changing your life for the better. And I think it'd be fun to end with like maybe a couple habits that we'll work on for next year, because it is New Year's resolution time. And I actually never have followed my New Year's resolution until last year when I stopped drinking, which makes me really want to like set one for myself this year that's big and go for it. So mine is going to be get in the best shape of my life. And I'm not going to be very specific about habits because I don't want to not have fun. I want to have fun while I'm getting in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
And then so I'm just going to try and exercise more basically and do it every day and be a little more intense about it as the year goes on. And then I think a bad habit I'm going to try and eliminate, because I didn't drink this year. I allowed myself to eat a lot of candy, and I'm going to try to wean myself off candy, the original addiction for all of us, right? See how that goes.
That sugar. I'm so glad that you said that, because I actually had that down, and I didn't tell you before hopping on the recording what, I was hoping to surprise you with it, like a surprise attack, but you beat me to it. So for me, 2020, I want to give back. I'm going to, and actually I started to tell you this and ended up not finishing my sentence, but before we hit record, but one thing I want to do starting this year, and actually I already have it set up on the calendar, January 2nd and January 16th. So every other Thursday starting out, I'm going to lead a free peer-led group on healthy lifestyle at Forza on Hamilton at 6 p.m. And the point of this is, you know, we're all working on our health, or if you're not moving forward in your health, you're moving backwards in your health. And I feel like we all need support and help. And we're all at a different place in our journey. We're never done. So I would love to start that peer group and have some people come together and help people, you know, really just find little nuggets that they can walk away with every peer group that, you know, may not come from me. It might come from somebody else in the room, and great ideas and brainstorming and being around people that really do care about their health and want some improvement. So that's one thing that I'm launching in 2020. And for me, you know, watching people just have that light bulb go on and that, hey, that's a great idea, I'm going to start trying that, and being able to follow up with them and see them again 2 weeks later or a month later or whatever and say, how's that going? I think that, I don't know, that just really charges me and makes me feel incredible and amazing, and makes me focus on my health too. You know, I just recently did a stretch challenge, and the point of that is I needed to get stretching in my life more. And that's something else I'm going to work on for 2020. So.
Nice, Catherine. Well, good luck. Keep us posted.
Oh, I will. Absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. And as always, what a great podcast, great topic. I love habits, love talking about it. How does someone reach out to get a hold of you for personal training or advice?
Thank you. fitandhappyclub.com. You can find my phone number there. I give 2 free sessions. Happy to give free advice. I'm with Katherine. I really just want to help people. So if you can't afford, call anyway. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Contact Jake. I'm sure he'll work with you. Find a way to get you healthy for 2020. And same here. So I'll put all the links down below this video. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time. Bye.
Thanks.